So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to cover today includes the new rebuilt PlayStation 5 and the price controversy, ex-Call of Duty developers, new studio that Sony partnered with, Deviation Games has big news, FSR 2.0 is now out, bringing major improvements, and Callisto Protocol is going for the most realistic characters. First, yes or no, do you care if Call of Duty goes Xbox exclusive or not? There's this whole controversy, as we know, going on right now in regards to Call of Duty and Jim Ryan calling out Phil Spencer and the deal they've offered when it comes to keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. As you guys know, I do care if Call of Duty isn't on PlayStation anymore, even though I have a Series X as well. It's just, it would be crazy to see that happen. But of course, that's just me. What about you? So comment below, yes or no, if you care if Call of Duty goes Xbox exclusive or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, ex-Call of Duty developers' new Sony-partnered studio gets big news. So Deviation Games partnered with Sony last year in 2021. It was announced at Summer Games Fest that PlayStation and Deviation Games are working together. The studio then had Jason Blundell, the creator of Zombies, and Dave Anthony, who's also a Call of Duty veteran as well, working on Call of Duty since Call of Duty Finest Hour, I think. The news today is that Jason is now leaving, or has left the studio even before they release their first game. This was revealed by the Deviation Games Twitter account yesterday, stating, Deviation Games is announcing that Jason Blundell has left the studio. We appreciate the contributions Jason has made, and we wish him the best in his future endeavors. Deviation will continue to be led by CEO Dave Anthony, who also assumed the role of game director this past year and remains a guiding force as we look ahead. They went on to mention their new hire for Command and Conquer veteran Lewis Castle, hopefully I said that right, and all the other industry veterans they have in-house already, including, of course, Dave Anthony guiding the development. Now, we don't really know anything about this game besides rumors pointing towards it being a FPS title, which isn't really shocking considering the developers there. It's an FPS title that will be supported for years to come and is supposedly currently targeting a 2024 release. As for why Jason left, some have theorized that PlayStation is buying the studio and Jason wanted to remain independent. PlayStation buying the studio isn't a surprise. If it happens, Haven Studios was also bought even before they released their first game as well. So maybe Sony is set to announce this buyout in the near future, and that's why Jason just left recently. Now, diving into the second story of the video, the new rebuilt PlayStation 5. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, the latest iteration of the PlayStation 5 has surprisingly different internals according to a new teardown video. The tech YouTuber Austin Evans acquired a new CFI 1200 model of the PlayStation 5, which quietly went on sale in Australia at the end of August. Evan notes that the new model has a totally different motherboard, which is noticeably smaller than that of the previous models. The new model's heatsink is even smaller than that of the CFI 1100 model, which is last year's new PlayStation 5 model, but it contains a heat pipe that runs through to the other side of the system, while Evans also noted that the SSD enclosure now has a better shield. Combined, the new motherboard and heatsink lead to a weight reduction of even more than the 0.2 kilograms reported, but the console's black plastic mold has extra support added to it, bringing the weight up slightly. Evans also claims that the new model has more efficient power consumption, noting that during a test in which all 3 test consoles were playing Astro's Playroom, so that's the launch console, last year's new model, and this new one, a launch model PlayStation 5 was drawing around 218 watts of electricity. Last year's CFI 1100 model was pulling around 229 watts, and the new CFI 1200 was only pulling around 201 watts. So it's a more efficient, much lighter PlayStation 5 thanks to the internal changes. The assumption is also that this thing is cheaper to make, which has some people even more upset that Sony increased the price of the console. We discussed the pricing controversy itself already, so I'm not going to go over that over here, but definitely people feel some type of way that this console is supposedly cheaper to make, but the price still increased. For me, I'm focused on the PlayStation 5 Slim because this really seems like real-time downsizing in front of our eyes internally to set up for a PlayStation 5 Slim. Probably maybe even next year. I'm really curious how much smaller this potential Slim will be, but you guys let me know if you'd buy a PlayStation 5 Slim or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now diving into the third story of the video, super realistic characters. So striking distance, the people behind Callisto Protocol that's coming out later this year, their chief technical officer Mark James recently sat down with website TechRadar and said this about their game. Our characters are the most realistic characters you'll see in a game, so much so that when we first showed our game, everybody thought it was pre-rendered. We were like, no, this is how our character looks. This is how Josh Duhamel, the actor behind the game's main character, looks. We've got a full scan, even down to ray trace reflections for the eyeballs. So if you look into the character's eyes in our game, you can see their reflected optics. It's a really tiny detail, but it's those tiny details that actually are so important to our game. So I read this and thought of Naughty Dog first. For some reason, I feel like they're going to accept the challenge to go beyond when it comes to their full PlayStation 5 titles and how visually impressive it's going to be. Regardless, it's great to hear the visual punch this game is going to bring, especially that it's a horror title. That's really important to me. We need more different horror titles on console. It feels like everyone is trying to be Outlast or PT with walking around, solving puzzles situation. That's the whole game. A lot of these first-person puzzle games are out there. I'm not saying that's bad. I actually really enjoy those games, but it's nice to see a game like Callisto Protocol, of course, deviating from the trend of games that we've seen in terms of the horror genre. And of course, it's nice to hear visuals will be top tier. And now diving into the final story of the video, Graphics Upgrade 2.1. So we've been covering FSR or Fidelity FX Super Resolution since last year when 1.0 dropped in the summer. 2.0 dropped earlier this year, and now we've got 2.1 out with various improvements. Reading from PC Gamer, AMD has shown off the new version of FSR 2.1 running in Farming Simulator 2022 alongside FSR 2.0 for comparison, and it looks significantly better with far less ghosting in the newer version. This is all thanks to some significant changes to the underlying algorithm specifically designed to reduce artifacts such as ghosting and shimmering. There's still some ghosting visible, especially when zoomed in, but it's certainly better. So again, FSR is upscaling tech to allow games to run at higher FPS counts while maintaining good visual quality. The weird thing about FSR though is that it doesn't seem to have been adopted majorly in the console space, and I'm not sure why. FSR 2.0 is in Forspoken, and I thought that would be the first game on console to get FSR 2.0, but it's been delayed to next year. Considering all the positives we've been hearing about FSR 2.0, and now we have 2.1, which is even better, you'd think it'd be more common in console space to allow games to hit that 4K 60 dream more often. Hopefully this changes and more games have it implemented in the future because it's continually, of course, improving. But you guys let me know why you think FSR is not used as much in the console space. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "It's time for a showcase." We've been waiting, Sony. I think it's time for a showcase. We're in September, approaching mid-September next week. So hopefully they announce a showcase soon. And if you guys are excited for the potential showcase, destroy the comment section with "It is time for a showcase." And I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.